clever things to ask.
Yes, always want to have a dialogue. Well, thank you. I am so delighted to be here with all of you today and really excited about being part of the inaugural Eco Summit. So what I wanted to share with you today is how GE, through our Ecomagination strategy, is using innovation, new business models, and partnerships to really help our customers drive massive change and global impact. Let me see if I can get this right. So let me start at the top. GE was founded by Thomas Edison and 3 of his colleagues back in 1892 with the vision of electric power and the electric light bulb. Since that time, we have stayed true to that vision. And today we operate in 180 countries, and our technology generates over 1/3 of the world's power. It's been an incredible 124-year journey for GE, but it has been one of reimagine, reinventing, and completely disrupting ourselves in order to make ourselves successful and relevant in a world that is changing dramatically. And one of the biggest and most massive changes that we've seen in the last 10 years is the world has finally started to understand climate science. It wasn't apparent to everybody at that time like it is today, but GE believed in climate science, and we said we have an opportunity and a responsibility to help solve. And so GE led the way by launching Ecomagination back in 2005. And from the beginning, Ecomagination has always been aligned to GE's core business strategy, innovation, except cleaner innovation. And today we're working on solutions that are intelligent and efficient that really help our customers grow and compete in an uncertain world. And Ecomagination solutions span GE's entire portfolio. We have some of the world's most efficient locomotives, aircraft engines, gas turbines, wind turbines, LEDs, and beyond. So we believed that in order for Ecomagination to be successful, we had to develop solutions for our customers that would provide both economic and environmental performance. There was no trade-off. And we stayed true to this approach, and it has served us very well. That is why Ecomagination has been so successful the last decade. So since the inception, we have invested $17 billion in cleaner technology R&D. That has returned us $232 billion of revenues, a real proof point that our customers value these solutions in their operations. And we are working very hard to our 2020 goals, where we will invest a cumulative $25 billion in cleaner technology R&D. We will further reduce our own environmental footprint at GE, reducing greenhouse gas emissions and freshwater use by another 20%. We've learned a lot in the last decade. First and foremost, innovation drives massive change. At GE, we have been able to bring down the cost of wind by 40% in the last 10 years. Wind today is now mainstream. We're continuing to innovate because we want wind not to have subsidies, and we want it to be on parity with conventionals. The other thing we've learned is we are now creating new business models. And if you haven't heard, GE's created a new business called Current, powered by GE. We are technology agnostic. We're bringing in some Ecomagination technologies along with partner technologies so we can create as-a-service models, come to market faster, and drive bigger outcomes for our customers. Digital is disrupting everything, and that includes the energy industry as well. GE is leading the way. We've invested in a GE digital business. We have hired over 2,000 data scientists and computer engineers. We've built out our own cloud-based operating system called Predix, which is going to accelerate the digital industrial revolution. And then finally, to solve the really tough resource and environmental challenges that we are facing into, it requires collaboration. And that's what I want to speak to you about today, is explore a little further on what we are doing as we partner up on several fronts. So Ecomagination, we've had some great success, but we're never satisfied. We're always striving to do better. And today we're not just focused on disrupting ourselves, but disrupting industries and helping them to transform. And to have that type of impact, it really requires collaboration across many boundaries. And we're doing this through open innovation, we're doing it through ventures, as well as commercial partnerships. Let me just share with you a little bit of what we're doing in each of these areas. So Ecomagination's been doing open innovation challenges for the last 5 years. We've done about 10 of them. Last year, we partnered up with Saudi Aramco, focusing on identifying some new solutions, new novel ideas to reduce the cost of energy in seawater desalination in Saudi Arabia. 75% of the cost of seawater desalination is energy. So we tapped into the global talent, academics, engineers, entrepreneurs to help us solve that challenge. We had ideas pour in from 32 different countries, some great ideas around how we could use renewables to reduce costs, combat energy, and help Saudi Arabia reduce their 1 million barrels of oil that they need a day to power these seawater desalination plants. We also just closed out our first Ecomagination Hackathon. We partnered up with California State University. So we had students across the 8 different campuses coming up with new ideas, new apps on how we could reduce water and energy on the campuses, leveraging our new Predix platform. The students shared our ideas, and I'm happy to say, if anybody's from Fullerton campus, Fullerton 1, they are using data in a new way that allows them to reduce energy consumption on campus. GE has been a very active ventures investor for the last 5 years, and today we are working with companies, helping them not just with investing, but helping them commercialize, helping them scale. We spend about $200 million with startups today. We have a portfolio of about 80 companies, and you might know some of these companies on the energy side. Sungevity, Embala, Lucid are some of the incubating companies that we are working with today. And then finally, a big pillar of the Ecomagination strategy going forward is commercial partnerships, and I want to take you in a little bit deeper dive on some of those commercial partnerships. So open innovation, ventures has really opened GE up. Not every idea comes from the 4 walls of GE. We really can tap into global experts, global entrepreneurs to help us with that reinvention process. It's been tremendous. But to scale, and GE is very good at scaling, we believe that commercial partnerships are the answer. And together with these companies, we can develop and deploy sustainable solutions, really solve some of the world's toughest resource and environmental challenges. We are so excited to be partnered with these 8 industry leaders who are like-minded. They too are focused on innovation, sustainability, and problem solving. What we want to accomplish together is we want to deploy at scale water reuse and wastewater to energy solutions to combat water scarcity. We want to develop hybrid renewable solutions for the developing world. We want to push the boundaries of energy efficiency and deploy them in our own operations, supply chains, our customers' operations. And finally, we are working on industrial internet and digital solutions in the manufacturing process to reduce waste of both water and energy. We made the announcement on ECO's 10th anniversary of these partnerships, and we want to inspire other companies to partner with GE to solve these issues, but we also want to encourage other global companies to come together and work hard on these issues. We really believe that industry can help transform tomorrow. So let me just take you one step further and share with you in a little bit more detail about one of our partnerships. So Total and Ecomagination are working on a solar gas hybrid energy solution that is for utility and industrial scale applications. We really want to build this solution so we can power industry in the developing world, help our customers reduce cost as well as emissions. Can you imagine the aspirational goal of being able to displace or reduce 100 gigawatts of diesel generation today? Total and Ecomagination have very complementary capabilities, and we are bringing the best from both organizations. Total owns sun power, 65% of it. They're bringing solar, they're bringing natural gas, they're bringing the logistics, and they have a tremendous footprint in Africa. They're in 52 of 54 countries. GE is bringing the gas engine, energy storage, systems integration, digital, and together we are working on an energy as a service financing model so we can help accelerate the progress of this type of sustainable solution in the developing world. So it's challenging, it's complex, but this collaboration could be profound when we get it right. So we have learned a lot. Ecomagination and the partnership strategy, there's really 5 lessons and best practices that I just wanted to share with you today. So first and foremost, when you're thinking about collaborating, think about partnering with companies that are aligned. You have similar visions, you share goals. I mentioned to you before, we focused on companies that were innovation focused, sustainability focused, wanted to problem solve, take some big swings and some risks to make a big impact. Also, we are never going to shy away from the mission of Ecomagination. We always have to create solutions that have economic and environmental benefits. And goal setting mobilizes all stakeholders in the same direction. Complementary capabilities. Whenever you're starting a project, whenever you're wanting to solve something, you always have to assess, am I going to build it, am I going to buy it, or am I going to partner? What do I lose if I partner? What do I gain? And that is what complementary capabilities are. When you find that partner, you can come to market so much faster. And it allows you also to share risk and reward, as well as share knowledge through the process. And some partnerships are a little bit more ambiguous than others. Do not give up. Solving tough challenges is never easy, but if we keep it simple, one goal at a time, accomplish it, things become much more clear. And we've learned in our partnerships already is that you've got to embrace failure. Fail fast, iterate, pivot. It's all part of the process and part of the learning. And prioritization and speed is critical. The world is moving fast. The world needs these types of solutions out working hard. Today, saving water and energy, reducing carbon. So it's very important to have milestones along the way as your goal achieving. Really super important to have that bias for action and that sense of urgency in everything you do. And never lose sight of what the outcome is. Take action, lead. Once you develop and deliver that outcome, success breeds success in the partnership, and you can build upon that. So as we think about what can everybody individually in this room do, my suggestion is take action, lead, do. Whether it is a big or small opportunity, get involved, collaborate. It makes a difference. And a couple of other things just for you to consider is thinking about what can you do together as a team before the summit this fall to make a bigger impact. 3 things that I'm just going to leave you with. Partnering, requires practice. That sounds silly, but collaboration is not inherent. You have to work at it. It is a skill that you need to learn, you need to practice. And although some of you might not be able to run a big, huge partnership in your organization today, there's other aspects of your life where you can practice collaboration. These skills are transferable. When I recruit talent into GE, I look for these types of skills because this is the way of the world. It's becoming much more horizontal, systemic. We've got to be flexible and adaptable. Second thing, seize the opportunity. companies genuinely want your participation, your engagement, so seize those opportunities. I would love it if Ecomagination or GE has an open innovation challenge or a hackathon for you to get engaged. We would love your ideas. And then finally, you're a very important stakeholder to GE and Ecomagination. Follow us on social. Tell us your opinion. Give us your ideas. Let's have a dialogue. What can we do together? So with that, thank you very much. I am delighted to be here. I hope I gave you a little bit of insight about Ecomagination and the strategy that we are pursuing, and I look forward to any questions that you may have.
Let's give a huge hand to Deb. So take action, you heard it. Probably got time for a couple of quick questions. Let's go, maybe just say your name quickly and then ask your question. Yes, in the blue cardigan, lilac cardigan.
Hi, my name's Jackie. I'm from PwC in London. I was just wondering, because we hear a lot of energy companies with some great kind of sustainability initiatives, but I was wondering whether you'd set a permanent date, kind of target on when you will phase out fossil fuels, because I think we see a lot of sustainability initiatives, but very few companies are actually owning up to the fact that obviously fossil fuels are inherently unsustainable.
No, we don't have a specific goal. And to be very honest with you, the Ecomagination strategy has always been about all fuel sources. We need all energy sources to really power the world. We are doing everything we can in Ecomagination to make sure those fossil fuels are as efficient as they possibly can be. There's still 1.3 billion people without access to energy. So we still have to solve some of those tough challenges. But we always have felt it's our role to make it as efficient as we can.
Okay, we'll probably do two more questions. So why don't we go there, down the end. Oh. And then we'll go over there next.
Hi, my name is Jose. I study physics here at the university. So I read a few months ago that France uses maybe 75 to 80% of its electricity from nuclear fission. I was wondering what are some pros and cons about using nuclear fission here in the United States to produce some of the energy from an economic and maybe an environmental standpoint.
Yeah, so we do have a nuclear business inside GE. Nuclear is a very, very important piece of the energy mix. The positive side of nuclear is there's no carbon, right? I mean, it's incredible what France has done, and there's a lot of nuclear in the United States as well today. And so it will be in the energy mix going forward. It's very, very important. As you hear about COP21 and really striving for 1.5 to 2 degree kind of levels, nuclear will have to be part of that mix.
Great, and then one last question. I can't remember who had the hand up first. Red shirt at the back. Okay.
Hello, Joe Dupree, doctoral student here at the University of Arizona. Perhaps I missed it. You mentioned that you're always looking for collaboration outside the four walls of GE, but in none of that had you mentioned any part of local communities, rural communities, indigenous communities, and I'm wondering how that you're going to take that collaboration into those regions.
Yeah.
Especially because you're talking about developing countries and you're a developed nation corporation.
Yeah.
And so going to those areas, there's a tendency to place things like pipelines and things like that right through rural centers and away from the urban populations where they'll pay attention. So how does your collaboration fit into the larger scheme of that?
Yeah, it's a great question, and we operate in 180 countries today. And so, we are a global company, but we're very, very local. We have a lot of people and customers on the ground. When we do those open innovation challenges, we are opening up to everybody in the world. So it is, not targeted only at specific people. We open up those challenges to anybody that wants to participate and have ideas. So if you have other suggestions for GE on how we could further touch those people, I'm always willing to listen and be open and make sure we harness the localization as best as we possibly can.